Shalom, shalom, peace. Welcome to another episode of DSTM, Don't Shoot the Messenger. Episode number 215. It's your brother Amath. IQAhmath, first name. IQ is all the same. Represent messengers of the covenant. We back again with another DSTM for you. Lord willing, everybody is well today. I want you to make sure that you've wiped your feet when you came on in here. You know what time it is. You know what we do when we say wipe your feet. Look at the scroll down below. See where it says hit the like button? That's wiping your feet, right? Feel free to comment and subscribe. If you've done so already, feel free to share the video. All right, we got to get this word out, man. Time is of the essence. All right, so in like manner, I told you before, I'm trying to work on, you know, getting my getting myself a little bit more prompt when it comes down to knocking out some of these DSTMs, man. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more efficient time wise with them and still be uh, fulfilling with the information. All right. So again, hopefully everybody's doing well today, man. I just wanted to go ahead on and share a few stories with you and get everybody in the spirit of understanding the times that we're living in is very serious. And you see it. The elites are meeting in secret. Is your iPhone watching you? There's a number of different stories, man, that I'm going to cover today. And it's a lot going on, man. It's very interesting now. You know, I remember hearing about and actually seeing a video that a brother had brought to the school back in like 2000, maybe 2001, somewhere around there, and it was called Bohemian Grove, done by the infamous Alex Jones. And at the time, I didn't know who to do. Well, we didn't know too much about it, but the brother got a hold of this DVD. Yeah, that's how far back we talk about DVDs. It was either a DVD or it was a VHS. For you youngsters out there, man, you don't know what that is. But DVD of this thing called Bohemian Grove. Now this was widely denied by uh all media outlets. You know, you were called a conspiracy theorist if you believed that there were secret meetings of the elites, if you believed in what was known and still known as the Illuminati. Um you were looked at as crazy. There was no way that you had any business believing in that. You had a tinfoil hat on. There is no elites. There is no one. There is no um, secret elite cabal that's running everything. You was looked at as crazy, right? But now there is openly public information now on mainstream news that are openly admitting, saying that yes, the Bohemian Grove cult and all that exists. They're meeting. Now they got to cave into it, man. So vindication for those of us who've known and been operating and understanding about that information for years. I mean, I knew about all of the, New World Order and stuff like that prior to um 2000 when we seen the video. But this was like a real exclusive because the dude Alex Jones had like snuck into this all male encampment up north and actually filmed secretly some of the information that was going on, man. So I don't know if he still got those available or whatever the case may be, but I remember seeing it back then. And now to see it 20 years later of them coming clean saying, yes, this actually did go down, because prior to him sneaking in and filming it, it was all like, hearsay, rumors, and you was a conspiracy theorist if you believed that, Esau was operating in secret, man, and has an elite that's running everything. Let me share my screen. I'm gonna get a scripture real quick on that. Um, and we'll get to it. Let's look at this. Isaiah 14. So when we're looking at uh the scripture here, Isaiah 14 and 12, um, it's not talking about Satan and him being Lucifer, okay? It's talking about a light bearer or Luciferian. When you're talking about Luciferian, you're talking about the Illuminati. They believe that they are the illuminated ones. They're operating in manners of light, which is equal to wisdom, into knowledge, into power. Okay. That's what they're doing. All right, let me see if I can get in the blue light. It might give me a different uh, understanding. So let's see here. Let's see here. See this? All right. So Strong's 1916.
Strong's H, 1966. Haleo. Haleo.
Hillel, right? Halal. Hillel. So, or you have halal, meaning what? A light bearer. Okay. Also representing who? The king of Babylon and Satan, or figuratively. So when you're looking at, well, who is the king of Babylon in today's terms, you're talking about the so-called white man. He's in control of Babylon right now. Okay. So when you're talking about Lucifer, it's not talking about Satan. It's talking about the controllers of Babylon, which is modern day Babylon right now, is the so-called white man. He's the Luciferian. He's the light bearer. He's the one that says that he's in control of light, information, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, power, control. That's all him, right? Why do we know that that's true? Because look, the accusation that he's being held to is him being cut down to the ground, the judgment that's going to happen to him. It says, what did he do? He weakened the nations. How did he weaken the nations? He weakened the nations by dropping that bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He weakened the nations through economic sanctions. He's weakened the nations through invasions and warfare. He's weakened the nations through biological warfare. Ask the Native Americans with smallpox. You dig what I'm saying? Ask the Vietnamese with Agent Orange. He's weakened the nations through various means. Let's continue on. Verse 13, it says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So his thinking is he wants to exalt himself above the clouds. He wants to be in the heavens with the Most High. So that's why he launches his satellite programs. He's got the Star Wars program. He's got Space Force. Um, he's trying to establish a I think the guy that owns Virgin Airlines, he's got rockets trying to get out there into space. You got Elon Musk utilizing his technology with SpaceX, and every time he tries to launch something, it blows up because the Most High is telling you, you're not coming up here. But that's what is in his heart. That's what's in his mind. He's saying in his mind, he wants to ascend into heaven. I'll exalt his throne above the stars of the Most High. I don't believe the moon landed. That's why I said he's saying it in his heart. It didn't say he's been able to accomplish this. This is his thoughts. This is what he wants to do. Does he have the satellite technology? Does he have the power grid set up and all of that? Yeah. But has he been able to establish an ascension above into the heavens? Is he in the third heaven where the Most High Spirit, dwells? No, he ain't up there. See, I will ascend above the clouds, above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So this is so-called white man with his God complex. We've covered a number of different stories on him trying to be like the Most High. He wants to be a creator. We just seen a story last weekend about him creating uh, synthetic embryos, designer babies. Being able to change people's genders. He thinks he's all powerful with his weapons and technology. He's out here creating new strands of foods and all kind of GMOs. That's why he thinks he's the Most High. He thinks he can be a creator. He's setting up, he's setting up spy grids all across the country and all across the world. Big brother, cameras everywhere, microphones everywhere. He wants to be able to see and hear everything you do. The Santa Claus thing. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. That whole thing, that's him. That's his mentality. Trying to be like the Most High. Wants to be all knowing, all seeing. So let's look at this story here. All right. Secretive all male summer camp for the elite. See, now they're coming about talking about that there's an elite that runs the world. Now they want to talk about that these things actually exist. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, they wasn't talking about this. This wasn't even coming out. You was looked at as a complete crackpot weirdo if you even insinuated that this thing was going on. You see how the so-called white man is patient, man? Now it's at the point to where the people don't give a damn. Everybody just worried about trying to make ends meet, trying to survive. They ain't got time to worry about who's controlling what. And some people are still out there believing that this is still nonsense. There's still a democracy in the earth. I mean, we still have the ability to vote. There is no elite that's running things. There's no people behind the scenes, calling shots and pushing buttons. The Wizard of Oz that's behind the damn curtain, man. He really is uh the controller of Oz. I mean, come on, man. Look at this secretive all male summer camp for the elite. So you know what's happening at the all male summer camps. You know what's going on over there. Whose members are Fortune 500 owners and powerful government figures, is sued by three valets claiming they were forced to endure horrific working conditions. The Bohemian Club has been hosting retreats for over 150 years on the California coast. Its closed doors camps are shrouded in secrecy, but a new lawsuit from former staff has shed light on the mysterious haunt. Three former valets allege a series of labor violations, including working nonstop 16-hour shifts without bathroom or lunch breaks. So, of course, I mean, they're going to treat you like slaves. That's the elitist mentality. Why wouldn't they treat you like a slave? 16-hour shifts, no bathroom breaks, no lunch breaks. Some of them were saying that they didn't even get paid. And who knows what else they were doing on those little 16-hour shifts for these little elites, waving dollar bills in men's faces. You know what goes on in them type of situations. This is why it's secretive. This is why it's closed doors. One of America's most secretive clubs is facing a bombshell lawsuit from three former staffers who claim they were subjected to a series of illegal labor violations while serving its elite membership. They're not subject to these labor laws. They're the ones who create them. This is white privilege at its finest. Good luck on trying to sue them and trying to get some money for back pay. Give me a break. These guys control the whole damn earth. And you think you're going to go to a court system that they control and own? Bohemian Grove. Y'all know, some of y'all know about this. Go check it out. Here's a picture of them here. Look who's in the attendance. Good old Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, right? These guys are the ones controlling presidents, controlling democracies, you know, calling shots in regards to political policies, how businesses are being ran. Bohemian Grove is a restricted. This is why back in the day when Alex Jones went in there, he snuck in. Somehow he was able to get in. He had the complexion for the connection. He got up in there, got video footage until he eventually got ran up out of there. But 2700 Campground 20601 Bohemian Avenue in Monte Rio, California, belonging to a private San Francisco based gentlemen's club known as Bohemian Club. In mid July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts more than a 2 week encampment of some of the most prominent men in the world. The Bohemian Club's all male membership includes artists and musicians, as well as many prominent business leaders, government officials, former U.S. presidents, senior media executives, and people of power. Members may invite guests to the Grove. Guests may be invited to the Grove for either the quote spring jinx. What are the spring jinx? What do you think is going on in there? Jinx, high jinx. In June or in May or the main July encampment. Bohemian Club members can schedule private day use events at the Grove anytime it is not being used for club wide purposes, and they are allowed at these times to bring spouses, family, and friends. Although female and minor guests must be off the property by 9 or 10, that's when the hijinks start happening. Females got to go and minors got to go so they can get it on and do what they want to do. And in the video that Alex Jones had, he showed them doing what was, we'll say, a mock sacrifice in front of the owl. And I believe they said that the owl god was Molech. And you know what the scriptures say about not offering your kids, or you're not supposed to sacrifice your kids to the fire of Molech in the law. They did a mock sacrifice on video. So, this is what's going on while the rest of the world and our people is out here shooting each other up at Juneteenth events. The elites out here, masterminding and trying to figure out ways and how they can still maintain a grasp on the earth and continually, allow Job 9:24 to manifest in their power. Okay, so that's what's going on. They're still meeting. Fortune 500 companies, owners, and the whole nine, man. They're out here meeting in secretive for the last 150 years, man. Esau's been trying to maintain uh, his dirty grasp on the world, and it's all real. It's all real. Okay, let's continue on. A new shiny bull market could be a mirage. A Wall Street and Wall Street should brace for a quote big collapse after recent rally, warns Bank of America analysts. So happy days aren't here again. I did a class maybe about a year ago, trying to show the parallels between the Roaring Twenties and the Millennial Twenties, and the Roaring Twenties and the twenties of right now, from 2020 moving on up back into the Roaring Twenties, which was from like 1919 all the way up to like 1930, are eerily similar. If you haven't seen that, go check the catalog on our video archives on YouTube. You'll be able to see it. Uh, you know, the economic collapse. Everybody was balling out in 1919, 1920. 21. That's what they call the Roaring Twenties. Technology was coming around. The vacuum cleaner was made. Henry Ford made the first car. Women's liberation was going on. Now you see what's going on here. Same thing. It was hot girl summers. Women running everything. Right. You got technology now with the uh, electric cars. Uh, from 2020 with all the stimulus money and the checks, and now all the information spreading around on the internet about investing and dealing with crypto and dealing with the stock markets. The same thing was happening back in the 1920s. People were investing in the war bonds, and getting back getting back interest from after World War One. They were getting their investments back, and then people started investing in the stock market. You had one guy, I forgot his name, but he said, "Well, people got money and they want to invest. We need to get them to invest in the stock market." People started investing in the stock market. You had a bunch of Edomites that got greedy. They did pump and dump scams where they pumped up a lot of stocks, had people investing in them, thinking they was going to get their money back. And as soon as they got all the money, they sold all the shares. The stocks crashed. Everything went to hell in the handbasket. So you're seeing here the Federal Reserve's out there pumping up money, trying to keep the stock market afloat. People are scared they're losing their money. Esau's coming after the crypto market now. But remember, back in 2020, stimulus was flowing. People was getting money. Rent moratoriums was up. What was off, man. People wasn't paying no rent, not paying student loans. People all had money, man. People was balling. Now you see that money is gone. The rent moratoriums is over with. People are getting evicted. Houses are being foreclosed on. Businesses are shutting down. People out there running around organizing mob riots and snatching grabs, smashing into jewelry stores, robbing people on the streets because that money's gone now. People got lost a lot of money listening to scammers on the internet talking about how they can take your money, help you flip it. I notice on YouTube, man, there's always a bunch of little ads, and I know some of y'all may have seen it, and they always be talking about, want to earn some more money? I can show you a quick little trick, quote unquote, a trick, how you can make more money. Or from this simple little trick, every time it's a little trick, or this secret such and such was being held back from you. You can find out now if you enroll in my course for $500. That type of stuff. It's a bunch of that going on. And a lot of people lost all their money. The Great Depression kicked in, inflation kicked in, food, starvation, the whole nine. So, in my estimation, and the scriptures saying the things that were done aforetime before our learning, I see things moving in the same fashion. So this analyst from Bank of America, even though we're seeing, the Federal Reserve, approved the budget so that the debt ceiling can move on. America's going to borrow some more money. The markets reacted greatly. They all said, "Oh, great, we're getting more money infused into the market. Everything's green. People get money again." Uh, this guy's saying it's all going to collapse. Commercial real estate is on the brink of collapse. Housing market is not looking so great. There's various other aspects of the economy outside of the damn stock market, and it's not really looking that great. But let it be known that this guy's saying that a big collapse is still happening. It's still going to be happening. Many economists are saying that this, it's just a bubble. The more that they put more air into this economy, the sooner it's going to burst. So he's saying the same thing. Let's just stay aware, be vigilant, be wise with your money, with your investing, whatever you're doing. I'm not an investor. I'm not a financial advisor, none of that. I'm just reading stories. Y'all make the wisest decisions for you and your households, but don't fall for the okie doke, man. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. The seven abominations in his heart. So who knows? This guy could be off. But looking at the climate of what's going on in the earth right now, I don't think he's off too far. Look at it. Two crypto platforms halt withdrawals and an echo of the sector's 2022 woes. So, people was thinking, crypto is a safe haven. But remember, it's digital, man. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. People will, by the flick of a button, cut you off from being able to access your funds and access your crypto. So look at this. Two crypto lenders with links to South Korea halted withdrawals in quick succession, a reminder of lingering risk even with regulators around the world tightening oversight of the industry. So we see that um, the government has gone after Binance, which is a crypto, uh, for lack of better terms, like a middleman. Um, Coinbase, they filed lawsuits against them. So they're coming after the crypto markets now. Now that they got the market settled in and they borrowed some more money from the Federal Reserve and they want everybody to reinvest back into the typical system, the beast system, right? Now they're coming after all the oppositions. So even we're seeing here in South Korea, this is a worldwide thing. It ain't just America, it's worldwide. They were cutting off people from accessing being able to withdraw their money. They're telling everybody who utilized Binance as a crypto middleman to buy and sell and trade and do all your crypto business. They're telling everybody who's got money in there, get all your money out before you lose it. So look at this. Token prices appear to have shrugged off the statements from Delio and Haru Invest, underlining the relatively small corner of the crypto lending market affected by the trouble at the two companies. Still, the freezes highlight the dearth of investor protections that persist among digital asset lenders almost a year after a wave of failures took down firms from Celsius Network to Vault. So, all the glitters ain't gold, even in the crypto sector. Let's move on. Social Security benefits targeted for cuts by the House of Conservatives. So now they're even talking about coming after Social Security. Our ability to see, even the illusion of retirement now is becoming even more far-fetched as they keep stretching the goalposts in regards to age of when you can retire. So now they're attacking Social Security. So for those that are on those Social Security benefits, they're coming after that as well. House conservatives on Wednesday proposed raising the retirement age to collect Social Security, handing Democrats damaging political ammunition ahead of the 2024 election. So this is the game that Esau always plays. They've been raising the age for Social Security for years on end, and it was always established and based upon the life expectancy of individuals. So, for instance, if the life expectancy for a person was to live until, let's just say, for instance, 58, and I was in whatever 1960 something, and they start realizing people was living into their 70s and the 80s, they said, "Oh shoot, this is too low because we didn't intend on paying out all these people. They're living past what we expected. So let's raise up the age. We're going to do it to 62 now." And then from 62, then it goes to 65, 65 to 67. Now they're trying to get it up to 69. You understand? Because they don't want to pay out those Social Security benefits. So the longer people are living, the more that they owe. And they're saying, well, let's just stretch the goalposts a little bit more. This is why they were rioting in France. Because the president Macron over there said, well, the same thing's going on. People was expecting their retirement benefits. They hit the age mark and they said, no, we got to stretch this out a couple of more years. People was upset. I mean, hell, who wants to be slaving and working all the way up until you're damn 69 years old, man? But that's how America operates, man. Slave labor, debt slaves. See, the proposal by the 176 member House Republican Study Committee will gradually increase the retirement age, increase that retirement age, ultimately hitting 69 years old for those turning 62 in 2033. The current retirement age for the full benefits is 66 and rising gradually to 67. So, did you see this? If you turn 62 by 2033, they're going to boost up your retirement age to 69. So the rest of us who ain't even close to reaching 62 by 2033, imagine what that's going to be increased to if we're still here, if America still exists, if the world, if the Saints ain't took the kingdom by then, you could forget about retirement. You could forget about it. It's gonna be 75, 80 years old before Esau says you can actually finally stop working and laboring, and we'll start paying you out for your services. So this is where the future's holding, man. Let's continue. Water rationing is introduced after temperatures hit 30 degrees Celsius on the hottest June 13th ever. Met office, Shalaka. Met office office declared vast swaths of UK are officially in a heat wave. So the UK dealing with water rationing last week. Um, I think it's continuing up until this week as well because of the heat. Water rationing is going on over there. Who would have thought? That's why we always talk about prepping. It's always why we talk about, making sure that we're moving in the spirit and recognizing and seeing what's going on. Don't get caught with your pants down out there when things start coming your way after, you know, your brother done told you, hey, things is coming down the pipeline. Make sure you got some things and provisions in order because who knows what could happen. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Cancer rates are climbing among young people and it's not clear why. Really? You don't think it has anything to do with much of the technology that's you know, being driven by radioactive waves? You don't think it has anything to do with the food? You don't think it has anything to do with the water? You don't think it has anything to do with the medicines that's getting put out there? Let's knock it off, man. Many of us, I'm sure you and I both know or have a family member or know someone, be it a friend, coworker, whoever, that is contracted cancer, died of cancer, or is trying to fight it off. And it's starting to hit younger people now. It says that ages 15 to 39, right now it's up 20%. 15 to 39, man. People contracting this thing. And they're saying they don't know why. It's just some phenomenon that's just happening out of nowhere. I mean, Esau's created an environment, man, to where this thing is becoming more prevalent in our lives than they even thought with everything that's going on. And you just seen in the last DSTM, they're using depleted uranium bombs over there in shells in Ukraine after they had to deliberately say, well, we don't we got to hold off on, pleading to America saying we don't know the damages that it could cause. Let's hold off on it. And then they ultimately just said, no, you know what? Let's go forward with it. Let's go forward with it. I've lived in areas out in the valley where they have signs that say this area, uh, you know, could cause cancer, whatever. Because back in the days, I remember when I was going to school, one of my professors back in the day, he said, and I didn't live in this area, but I know I had a coworker who lived in this area called Simi Valley out here in Cali. And Simi Valley, they used to do nuclear bomb testings back in like the 50s, and then they turned it into like a residential area. And a lot of the residents of Simi Valley, man, started getting cancer. I had a coworker, man, both her parents died of cancer, and they were all from Simi Valley, Northern Tribe sister. So this is the type of stuff Esau does, man. He lays out all of these damn traps and cancer causing issues all over the place, and then long term, when it starts hitting and affecting people, then he comes back and says, "I don't know why or what happened." Just use this past health incident. You know what I'm talking about. When people start, dropping dead from various reasons, you know what they are. We've talked about them on a number of occasions. I can't speak too much more on it because you know how they do me. People start dropping dead in five years or so. They're gonna say we don't know what caused it. Oh, and they're not gonna trace it back to 5 years earlier when you got some medicine in your arm. But this is what's happening. Cancer rates are rising amongst the youngsters now. Hepatitis A outbreak is plaguing strawberries sold at Trader Joe's, Costco, and Aldi. The U.S. issues 3 recalls in 90 days, but how is the virus spreading to fruits imported from Mexico? So, long story short, man, watch the strawberries that you get from Trader Joe's, Costco, Aldi's, especially the frozen ones. These are the ones that they're talking about in particular. They've been having recalls on them. If you bought some, um, if I was you, I'd get rid of them, right? But there's an outbreak with hepatitis now, with strawberries being sold at Trader Joe's, Costco, and Aldi's. Be careful out there. Starbucks, they're under fire again. Remember last episode is because of them trying to deal with the quote unquote woke movement. They had to take down all of their decorations for Pride Month. But many of y'all have heard about this story. White woman, manager of Starbucks, called the police on two brothers that was sitting in the Starbucks in Philly. They didn't buy anything, and she told them to get out. And they was like, "Nah, we're waiting on a colleague, and once they get here, they're gonna have their little, meeting. And I guess they, intended on ordering something in. They forced them to get out. They called the police, handcuffed the guys. The brothers ended up winning a lawsuit. In retaliation, Starbucks told the manager she was out of pocket and needs to improve her race relations, whatever. And according to her, they told her that she needed to fire a white person for I guess an example of being woken and being part of the accountability. And she says she refused to do it, and they fired her. That's what they're saying. But anyway, all because of how she treated two brothers, man, who clearly she was in the wrong because they sued and won. So she was wrong for what she did. But look what she gets in return. $25.6 million verdict in her favor. I don't know what the settlement was for the brothers, but I guarantee you it wasn't 25.6 million. You got men that's been out there wrongly accused, spending 25 and 30 years and 40 years of their life, wrongly accused, sitting in cells, going through hell in prisons, and get out and get less than this. You tell me that there's quote unquote justice here, man. See, let me give one scripture in Isaiah. Let's read Isaiah 10. Isaiah 10 and 1, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." So the Most I said, man, woe and destruction and misery to them that decree unrighteous decrees. Man, that is an unrighteous decree. The woman was dead wrong. The brother sued. They won. And then she gets fired because they told her that she was did a bad managerial job. She comes out and says she got fired because she was white. Reverse discrimination. And wins $25.5 million. That's an unrighteous decree. And that right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. I mean, this is what the so-called white man does all the time. So let's look at this. A jury on Monday found in favor of former Starbucks regional director Shannon Phillips, who sued the company for wrongly firing her, claiming she was terminated for being white. I mean, can you really claim reverse racism in a system that is built upon white supremacy? Good Lord. Phillips, who worked for Starbucks for about 13 years and managed a region of stores in the area, was fired after the arrest of two black men in Philadelphia at a Philadelphia Starbucks in April 2018. The New Jersey jury returned a verdict of 25.6 million, including 25 million for punitive damages and 600,000 in compensatory damages, according to the consul uh, Matiasi law, which represents Phillips. The jury ruled unanimously after a 6-day trial. The lawyer said, noting that Phillips will also be seeking back pay and front pay. So not only is the 25.6 million settlement not enough, she still wants more. She wants her back pay and front pay. White privilege at its finest, boy. I'll tell you. Look at this. Step aside, Spartans. This elite homosexual regiment was the ultimate crack team. No pun intended, crack team. Good Lord. Uh, in honor of Pride Month, obviously they want to talk about how this Alexander the Freak had what he calls a companion cavalry, which was comprised of a cavalry of homosexuals who was supposed to be the ultimate, I was gonna call them spearmen, but that's a bad joke. Let me leave that alone. Uh, become the ultimate quote unquote crack team. All right, let's look at this, man. Alexander's crack regiment was the companion cavalry whose 8 squadrons were drawn from the Macedonian aristocracy. They were armed with a spear and 2 swords, one for thrusting, the other for slashing. Alexander rode at the head of the pick of this select cavalry force, the Royal Squadron. How to bring about the bond that would make such a how to bring about the bond that would make such ancient elites fight harder. Alexander believed in geographical loyalty, and each of his 8 squadrons was recruited from a distinct area of his lands. Look at this. Gorgias, general of the city state of Thebes, decided to divide the 300 warriors of his elite unit, the Sacred Band of Thebes, into 150 sexual pairings. Who would desert his beloved or fail him in the hour of danger? Asked Plato. While the homosexual sacred band flourished in the mid 4th century BC, it led Thebes in crushing victories over the warriors of Sparta. So, you seen the movie 300, right? They're saying that these sodomites, man, was colder than them and took them out, and they were fighting for love. That's Esau for you, boy. That is Esau for you, man. Let me share something else with you before I run. I made mention of a couple of things too regarding your iPhone. Is your iPhone watching us? Let's look at this real quick. Look at this. iPhone takes an infrared picture of your face and surroundings every 5 to 10 seconds, and routers can be cameras and see through the walls. So, are we entering into the age of uh, elite spying? What are the what are- what why is your iPhone constantly snapping pictures of you every 5 to 10 seconds, utilizing infrared imagery? They're saying, "Oh, it's not a picture; it's just an infrared image of your face." But why is it doing it? Why are they? Why? What's the necessity of them doing this? Are they creating digital footprints? Are they trying to make sure that they have your infrared imagery locked into a particular database? Those are the questions that people are wondering. Are they utilizing these Wi-Fi routers that are looking through walls now, locking in on your phone? So while your Wi-Fi is on and you're in your bedroom, the Wi-Fi now they can look and utilize the router to watch you and look at what you're doing in your bedroom. Check this out.
We already knew. We just discovered, which we already knew, that your phone, an iPhone specifically, takes an infrared picture of you with your Face ID every 5-ish seconds.
TikTok user Bree Thomason used a digital camera with an infrared lens to film another person as he looks at his iPhone home screen. You can see the iPhone snapping several infrared images every 5 to 10 seconds. But tech expert Rich DeMuro says Thompson's post is not completely accurate.
I don't believe it's a picture of your face, because if it was, I'd say, show me the photos. This is an
See, the problem with that is that this is a covert thing that they've implemented into the technology. It's not like it's going into your pictures folder as if you took it yourself. These are the pictures that's being taken infrared in secret. Why would they have it available in your photos and say, "Well, show me the pictures"? That's ignorant. That's nonsensical, man. The fact that it's not doing it is doing it covertly means that it's not supposed to be put into your folders. It's going into a cloud that iPhone has. But he's supposed to be the tech expert. I don't know too much about damn tech, but that made more sense to me than what he's talking about. If it's taking your pictures, show me the picture. No, it's not taking your pictures, taking infrared imagery covertly where you're not supposed to know. That's why it's not going to be in your pictures folders, man.
infrared sort of imagery or image map of our face. And so if you looked at it, it would not look like the pictures that you and I know. So I think it's kind of half true, but it's also just scaring people into thinking that their phone is spying on them.
According to Apple, it's actually just an aspect of the iPhone that allows users to control their Face ID and animated emoji.
Oh, it's all just for fun. It's all for fun, just for your face ID and for your little animal emojis. Don't worry, everything's fine.
emoji functions.
It's not as evil as it sounds. It's really just a useful feature most of the time.
Since Thomason posted the video, it's gotten more than 224,000 likes and nearly 18,000 shares. While her post has some flaws, DeMuro says it's okay to be cautious when dealing with tech.
You should have a healthy level of skepticism when it comes to anything to do with privacy. So if you feel like your phone is operating in a manner that it should not be operating, I think that you need to get to the bottom of that. Now, on the iPhone, when the actual camera is activated, there is an indicator light at the top of your phone.
DeMuro says Apple is a company that values its users' privacy, so if you're uncomfortable with the feature, you can simply turn it off. All right.
Yeah, but who would even know that it's there and it's active? And if you have to know about it in order to turn it off, you don't even get the option to turn it on. It's already on. Now you got to figure out and find out how to turn it off, right? So look at this. Scientists turn Wi-Fi routers into, quote, cameras that can see people through walls. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon University have repurposed a common piece of tech present in virtually every household to function as a tracking technology. Really? By what? Utilizing Wi-Fi routers. They have developed a method for detecting the three-dimensional shape and movements of human bodies in a room without the use of cameras and an expensive LIDAR hardware. We believe that Wi-Fi signals can serve as a ubiquitous substitute for RGB images for human sensing. In certain instances, illumination and occlusion have little effect on Wi-Fi-based solutions used for interior monitoring. So, y'all can look at the rest of this on your own. You just see where the tech is going, man. They want to be able to spy on you. They want databases all to lock into the new systems of the digital IDs, all to lock into the new B system, man. This is all part of the system of control, Big Brother, the whole nine, right? This is a article that you can look up, man. Just look it up in Google. iPhone takes infrared pictures of your face. You'll pull up articles about it. All right. Let's look at Slow Biden, man. Slow Biden. Look at this guy. Groper in chief, pervert. Slow Biden fills up actress Eva Longoria. Look at his hand. Look at his hand. Would this not be a Me Too movement? Would he not be, creepy Joe? There he goes again. Not only does he have a fetish for the youngsters, he's filling up on Eva Longoria. This is at the premiere. He's promoting the premiere of her movie. Something about the hot chips or something like that. I forgot the name of the movie, but it's out right now. She's the producer of the movie. I guess they. I don't want to assume what the movie's about, but to me it sounds as if the wave of hot chips and all that was started by a Hispanic, and I could be wrong. Don't quote me. It ain't about the movie. It's about him saying how long he's known her. He's known her since she was 17. He's 40. Creepy Joe filling up on uh, Eva Longoria, the actress. Look at this. Look at him. She looking uncomfortable, but she like, I need this promotion. I need it. I got to get through this because I need my movie to get successful. Slow Biden got the cold embrace on her. Look at him. Look at the creep show, man. As my brother Shar say, man, that's Fire Marshal Bill. If y'all remember the In Living Color reference. Fire Marshal Bill. There you go. Slow Biden. I mean, there's so many names of this guy. It's unbelievable. But look at him.
We've known each other a long time. She was 17, I was 40.
She was 17, I was 40.
That's it. But thank you.
So funny. Creepy Joe. There you go. Creepy Joe. Lastly, man, I want to show y'all this. I said I was gonna find the report that was in Kentucky, man. The crybabies of the Scrabble game, man. The LGBTQ plus HIV community, man, wilding out in Kentucky after they pass what they call a quote sweeping anti-trans bill. It's not anti-trans, man. If you find out what exactly the bill was about, they want to push the issue, man, to change things that are irregular. And Kentucky said we're not doing it. But watch how they act.
Assembly passing a sweeping anti-trans bill. And the WHS 1119 was there in Frankfurt for the vote tonight. The bill bans gender-affirming medical care for
Now look at it. It's banning gender affirming care for minors. Last DSTM, we just seen the story about the 18-year-old girl who had regrets about doing her transgender surgery at 13. Her lawyer is out here suing and Kaiser Permanente and 3 doctors for giving her a consultation for an hour and 15 minutes and then throwing her on hardcore hormone bending drugs. Got her all in the mental dysphoria, not knowing and understanding what the hell's going on. She goes through with the surgery. By the time she's 18, 5 years later, she's living with regrets that she even went through with any of this stuff. And they're saying that this mentality could be outgrown. It's almost as if it's a quote unquote phase that's being actually engineered and fueled by trans activism. So Kentucky's saying we're not going to allow minors to have gender affirming care, meaning we're not going to allow 10, 11, 12-year-olds to say, I want to have gender affirming surgeries. I want to get put on hormones and all that. They're saying, man, wait till you grown 18, whatever, then you make your decision. They're not telling you can't do it at all, but you can't do it when you're young. I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. They're saying that this is groundbreaking, this is sweeping, this is, the most anti-trans bill ever. Give me a break. The bill also says it allows teachers to ignore preferred pronouns. So teachers are not going to say if it's a her, it's a her. If it's a him, it's a him. They're going to call them by what they want. They're not going to say, I'm non-binary. You have to recognize that. Or I want to be known as she or they or them. Or teachers ain't playing that games. And bans trans students from using the bathroom tied to gender identity. So if you're a female, go to the female bathroom. You're male, go to the male bathroom. They swear up and down, man, that's just like committing, that's going to kill them if they have to do that. But watch the reactions of how they do it. I'm going to let this ride.
minors allows teachers to ignore a student's preferred pronouns and trans students from using the restroom tied to their gender identities. WHS 1119's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie have the emotional reaction.
Despite the desperate cries,
I'm embarrassed and I'm appalled and I'm scared.
Do you see any tears coming out of her face? I'm scared. Scared of what? To go to the bathroom with your gender assignment? You're scared because students have to be called what their natural gender is? You're scared because children aren't allowed to go and get surgeries done on them while they're minors? What are you scared about? With no real tears, man. That's why I said they got actors in here. Something's going on. It ain't right. This is foolishness, man.
And I'm scared. I won't know.
and impassioned pleas.
How dare you? You're going to kill kids. Their blood will be on your hands.
These are complete actors. How are kids going to die from those 3 bills, from those 3 propositions that just passed? How are they going to die? Did it say if you go into the bathroom, there will be a firing squad waiting for you outside? Did it say that if you go and get a gender affirming surgery or gender affirming care, whatever the case may be, you're going to be lynched and hung? Did it say that if your teacher decided to call you whatever you demanded, that you was going to be poisoned and injected? No. That's dog whistling to these confused kids out there who still stuck in the basement with antidepressive drugs and all kind of madness. That's dog whistling to them saying, commit suicide, kill yourself so that we can make more of the point. They're suggesting that kids kill themselves because you can't get your way. And then they're trying to reverse it, talking about the blood is going to be on your hands. Who's talking about? This is not a life or death, proposition. I'm sorry, y'all, but I had to add some commentary to this because these people are out of control. This is why I said it's a complete cult, man. It's out of control.
And impassioned pleas.
How dare you? You're going to kill kids. Their blood will be on your hands.
Kentucky GOP lawmakers succeed in getting anti-trans legislation to the governor's desk, where it's expected to be vetoed.
Shame on you. I would thank you for your time, but I am honest to God so embarrassed, ashamed, and
I mean, are these people acting or what? I mean, this is not even real emotion that's coming out, man. This is not even Oscar worthy. This is ridiculous and foolish. She's talking. He's talking about he's embarrassed and ashamed and for what? Come on, man.
But I am honest to God so embarrassed, ashamed, and for the first time in my life, I wish I was not a Kentuckian.
It's hard to put into words just
With the fake slam on the hand, yeah, slam on the desk. You don't have to be in Kentucky. Why not leave the state? Then you're gonna say, "Oh, that's anti-trans. I had to move because of it." No, all right, let me let this play. Time is of the
how
essence.
fast moving this bill was. During a surprise Senate Education Committee vote, Republican Senator Max Wise and Representative David Meade blindsided everyone, reviving what was thought to be a dead Senate Bill 150.
There is evidence that this is harmful to children. And that's our job, is to protect children, and that's what we're doing here.
The new expanded version includes far-reaching measures. It would have school districts create explicit bathroom policies, forcing trans students to abide by their biological sex. It also bans gender-affirming care for anyone in Kentucky under the age of 18. That's both surgical procedures and non-surgical procedures.
We are attacking a group of vulnerable people, as we're calling late meetings, and sneaking bills in. This is not good government.
The director of Planned Parenthood told me this bill is the farthest reaching anti-trans legislation in the entire country. Supporters say it backs parental rights.
You watched the committee or were in the committee, you would have seen the testimony from certain doctors and certain mental health professionals. So yes, there were some consultants.
But opponents believe it will lead young queer Kentuckians to leave the state or worse.
Please think about a kid that you know. Think about how you would feel if a kid you knew couldn't get access to medical care and they came home and you found them dead.
The General
You see that? Couldn't get access to medical care. What kind of medical care are we talking about? You're not talking about going to the ER or the urgent care and they're saying get out of here because you're trans or you're gay. You're not talking about you can't go to the dentist because you got a wisdom toothache. You gotta get the tooth pulled and they're saying get out of here, fag. I mean, I gotta watch my language, man. The algorithms be getting on. This is what they're trying to make it sound, though. Imagine a kid who's getting denied medical care. You come home and he's dead. Whistle, dog whistle. Kids, go out there, kill yourself. And now, when you have a rise of suicides amongst this community, it's because of them. They're the ones who's influencing them and programming their little minions and the little lost sheep out there to tell them to go do this stuff. I mean, this is modern day Sodom at its finest. This is the spirit that's emanating from this place. When we read Revelation 11 and 8 and it said this place spiritually is known as Sodom, that's the spirit that's emanating out there, man. It's infesting and possessing the youth and grown-ups alike. And they got these fake ass actors in here playing these roles in here and then hyping up the verbiage as to say this is the most extreme trans bill ever passed in the country. And come on, man, if you don't knock it off.
Assembly will have time to override any vetoes. Lawmakers return for that in 2 weeks. In Frankfort.
So, once again, we see some of the madness that's going on out there. You've reached DSTM, man. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't do it. Episode 215, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Shai, man. So much folly going on in the earth, man. So much foolishness going on. Heinous crimes going up. War, pestilence, disease, plague, spirit of Sodom. I mean, everything's going down, man. Egypt, Babylon, everything's being made manifest in our eyes in real time. Just stay focused, stay tuned, man. Always fear the Most High. Keep the commandments. Don't shoot your messenger. And if you haven't already, man, wipe your feet. Wipe your feet on your way out, man. That's all I ask. All right. Messengers of the Covenant is the congregation. IQAhmath, IQAhmath, first name IQ is all the same. Is your brother presenting. Lord willing, I'll see you again on another episode. Shalom.